must be the one I've been hearing so much talk about. The one that has been beckoned by Athene. You are truly someone special. Special enough that perhaps you could help me with a task that has been of great concern to me. I am a loyal follower of Secandra and the Colossi Guard. If you walk safely in these lands, it is thanks to us, in part. We have always known that in our darkest times, the gods would send the beckoned. Now that you are here, should I be worried? The city is strong and beautiful. I hope it is the first of many other great Colossi works. We came to this land years ago, and yet we are still strangers here. We are strong, and we are loved by the gods, or so I am told. But I cannot shake this feeling that, despite our virtues, we are not strong enough for this land. They were Colossi, but they gave up completely on the gods. They have reverted to barbarism now, and kill any they find. This small shrine acts as a conduit of the god's power. It uses only small portions of this power, but if we could get it activated... This place is crawling with vicious beasts beckoned, but more dangerous are the marauders. I seek to restore this shrine, so that the patrols of the Teeth of Naros can take use of it. The shrine carries the blessings of the gods, relaying them to special litanies. However, the magics of the shrine have worn out. But it can be repaired. With 5 of these litanies, the magics of the shrine can be restored. The shrine is a conduit of the gods' blessings. From healing magics to invulnerability, much could be gained for the devoted. But the blessings of this shrine could be relayed to special litanies, so that the magics could be enjoyed from anywhere. The shrine has lost its magic, but it could be restored if we can bring 5 litanies back to it. Thank you, friend. I would search myself, but I would need to leave my post to do so. And I must keep the watch. 5. Yes, 5 litanies should hold enough magic to restore the altar to working condition. Gather them, and bring them here. They are scattered throughout the Teeth of Naros. I could not say their exact locations, but if you look hard enough, you will find them. Farewell, Chosen One.
And so this Myru gifted them with Apothani heart, and the newly born Colossi found deliverance. With the gods once more upon the mount, so did they surge towards the teeth of Naros, towards majesty. By the magnificent graces of Athene, A city was built upon gloried heights. So stood Idilla in bountiful tribute. A colossi bastion, the virtue of the Uranos. We build this for you, Athene. We build this for you, our blessed goddess.
Traveling to Idilla?
There is so much talk of gods and faith in Idilla. But out here, I feel as though it is only me on this mission. Alone or no, someone must try to fulfill these goals. Perhaps my gods will help, but until then I must help myself. I am a diplomat, so to speak. Though they lack our grace, some of the brutes of this place have in them a shred of reason. The marauders were once thinking, feeling colossi, and the Jotun were kin as well. I must try to appeal to their wisdom. With this city still being incomplete, I have found myself more interested in research than the gods. We have been given the light of Athene, but we should share that with as many as we can. The Jotun have old ties to the Colossi, very old ones. We marshaled their strength for the glory of Athene before we came here. We felt ourselves their custodians, but they viewed us as masters, and their resentment only grew from there. We have earned much for our closeness with the gods, but we have a duty to share that connection with all of Amalur. The teeth of Naros is a very dangerous place. Even those that know the dangers well can still find themselves at its mercy, or lack thereof. Be careful. There is nothing safe down here, nothing.
You must be the beckoned, the blessed visitor from an unknown land. But perhaps, if you have the strength to reach these lands alone, then you are strong enough to aid me. I manage to do what I can in the way of study. There are few resources available for a student of history out here. But it is important nonetheless. Where would we be if not for historians? How would we have acclimated to this land so quickly? There were tomes and prayers written in your honor centuries ago. We were forced to leave them behind, but if only you had seen them. Idilla is indeed the most beautiful city one will ever see, for the gods themselves inspired it. I would prefer to stay within the sturdy walls of Idilla, but nothing can really substitute for practical experience, can it? This is the homeland of the trolls, so to speak. I aim to study them, so I must do so in the wild. Imposing and indignant creatures, we Colossi have managed to drive the majority of them from this vicinity. But those that remain have started digging. For what? I don't truly know. Only that they seek some means of retribution. I have been studying the trolls in the area and have seen something of great concern. The trolls have unearthed a number of urns which possess a deadly magic. They are curious. For as long as we have been here, my people have not encountered the like of these urns, nor the ashes they contain. I lack the strength to face the magics of these urns, but Athene is in your thoughts. You could destroy them. The trolls believe these urns to be artifacts of the god Naros, but the ashes they contain have a vile, corrupting magic. I fear what may happen if the trolls are left in control of these urns, and the power they contain. Thank you for your help with this. The ashes contained in those urns are too dangerous. There are troll dens scattered around the Teeth. It is probably best to start your search there. However, you will be able to feel the dark magic when you are near to one of the urns. Safe travels, Beckon.
Tragedy befell these giants, as in trying to force the Hyperion upwards, Athene was angered and made her rage known. So the life was driven from some, the faith from many.
Forgive our trespasses, and bless us with wisdom, Athene the all-knowing, in whose name we pray.
Who wanders into my camp? What is this? You are far too small to be a colossi. So it's true then. The beckoned has come. I once tried to forge peace between the Jotun and the colossi, but as I did, I became enamored of the simplicity they enjoy. I have taken to living in this old camp to try and enjoy it as I can. The heads of the city's inhabitants are as high in the clouds as the city itself, with their talk of religion and righteous gods. I much prefer to stay closer to the ground and stick to my roots. The Jotun have wronged the Colossi in the past, but the Colossi have a shared history with them. It was right to grant them mercy. They act like they are above everything, but they are mud and dust, like everything else in this world. They just aren't decent enough to admit it. Most find it completely inhospitable, but I find that it is not so difficult if you try a different sort of living. Yes, the plants are unpalatable and the beasts cunning, but you can't expect nature to offer you wine and sweets if all you do is ask. This is my home, but not for much longer. I moved out here to reconnect with my roots, you see. My heritage as a giant race. However, my time on my own has come to an end. I am ready to take the next step and go and live amongst the Jotun of the Teeth of Naros. There are only loose ends that need to be taken care of, but I have sworn off Idylla for all days I have left. Karunk was my chief concern with me trying to move in with the Jotun. Now that he is dead, it seems to be the perfect time to do this. The logical step is that I must live among the Jotun. Yes, I do. I have lived on my own in this abandoned Jotun camp long enough. Would you? I will reward you for your help. I will not be needing the coin where I am going. I want for my family ring, currently in the hands of my brother Heliodorus, and to see my journal delivered to my old comrade Darius. But perhaps most of all, I want you to find my wife, Corina. I would like you to bring her here to me. You must retrieve my family ring, deliver my journal, and speak with my wife. The ring is currently in the possession of my rather odious brother Heliodorus in Idylla. I doubt he will surrender it kindly. He hides it in the living quarters of Idylla. You can try liberating the ring yourself or finding a way of dealing with my brother. Convince Corina to come down from the city and see me. If you could bring her here, then I can talk her into living with me and the Jotun. My journal needs to be delivered to my friend Darius. He is most likely camped out somewhere in the Teeth of Naros. Be quick, Beckoned. I must get to the Jotun soon. Goodbye.
The Teeth of Naros is a dangerous place. Now that you have placed the litanies at the litany altar and activated their magic, any other litanies you may come across will be helpful to you. Here is one I found while you were searching for the 5 to place at the litany altar. Take it as a reward. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. You've restored the magic of the shrine. Now the patrols and I can finally make use of it. And you as well, of course. Be careful on your travels.
Hello there, Beckoned. Been traveling in the Teeth of Naros? Istus is a dear friend of mine, formerly a peer, but as we tried to build ties with the Jotun, well, things turned. This is Istus's research. So that must mean he is preparing to go live with the Jotun. I cannot say I completely agree with Istus's methods, but I can respect his intent with his research. Thank you, Beckoned. Wish him the best for me. Farewell.
You destroyed all the urns? What a relief! Their dark magic will no longer be attainable by the trolls. You can withstand these magics. Perhaps you can make use of this artifact I've uncovered. A grim shield, but strong. Safe travels, Beckoned.
How may I serve? How goes the search for my Galatea? Any news of her yet? Yes. And how was it? Was it unharmed? That statue is my wife, Galatea, so to speak. In truth, my wife is dead. Murdered by a monstrous troll named Kern years before. I carved that statue to remember her by. Every year on the anniversary of her death, I work on it more so that I never forget her face. But even that has been denied me. So the only solace I have left is knowing my wife's killer is dead. Find Kern, Beckoned, and bring his end for me. Please. My wife was killed by a troll down in the Warren. All I have left to remember her by is a statue I began carving for her down below. But as I am forbidden to leave the city, the only comfort I have is knowing the statue is still intact. Go back to the Warren and search for him there. That is where he ambushed my wife and me years before. Take care.
And you return to me. I hope you are finding this work well suited to you. Very well. I shall endeavor to reward you for your labors.
You must be the beckoned. What brings the beckoned to me on this day? You have seen Histus? I have not heard from him in so long. I was worried something had happened to him. What business has he sent you on? That fool! He is as oblivious and idealistic as the day I took him for my husband. Very well, I will see him after straightening out some affairs. If you require supplies, the concourse market provides everything you need.
Blessings to you.
As help? The famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless. I'm just one who's intent on maintaining the cultural integrity of her people. We were once no nobler than the Jotun or the Etin. Some would purge this history, but then how will we remember it? This is a place for those who are weary of their burdens. If you feel so, you can rest for a while. How do you find our city, Beckoned? Grand, is it not? It is the great island of progress, as I see it. But even it cannot forget the world it left below. All the rocks you see, here and in the sewers, once rested in the teeth of Naros. I do not forget Arcades, or what he did for my people. He led us here and started this city, but most cannot see past his flaws. To preserve the past, all around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times. Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I await your findings. They are little things, of no intrinsic value. But as my people are so convinced to make progress, these artifacts are the few records of who we once were. They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners, or carried by beasts as trophies. Be careful with them.
I almost did not see you.
Welcome, Beckoned. Beckoned? It seems my preconceptions were off. But I still need your divine aid. The plague spreads. I have worked on this city for all my lifetime. The sewers that run below it are my masterpiece. But this work of art is besmirched by rats. These foul vermin run rampant in my catacombs, tainting it with their fetid presence. Try as I might, I cannot best the scourge. But you, Beckoned, your divine intervention is needed. I have never known beasts with such low cunning and high birth rates. They are fearless as they are disgusting. I have pinpointed a much-traveled route used by the rats and seeded it with traps that can be activated on command. Find the levers that activate those traps. They've been placed on a ledge overlooking the route. When you see the rats pass below, simply pull the levers as they approach the traps. Slay the filthy vermin. I am a mason.
one of many caretakers of the sewers. A hidden menace, the secret horde. Though few acknowledge them, the rats are the great threat to this city. In my younger days, I hunted the vermin with a force of will unequaled by the greatest of the theologians in the Lycaeus. I have heard that you wreaked havoc in the Lycaeus during your debates. Just as I expected from the Beckoned, you have become truly feared in the academic circle. Still, I cannot believe how formidable you are, considering your stature. Are you enjoying its splendors? This fair city is rich with them. Even in the sewers, under its gleaming exterior, lies a feat of engineering unrivaled by other cities in Amalur. Once I hunted the rats that plague our sewers with such zeal, but I have worked myself to exhaustion and am forced to rest here. Though I rest, the rats do not. Please, find the traps I laid in the sewer and lay waste to them. I wish you well.
I expected the Beckoned would arrive sooner or later.
Do you bring news from below? With my brother indisposing himself, it falls to me to keep watch over my family's estate, little though it is. Histis has the nerve to call himself a brother, living in the wilds, acting like a savage. Might as well be a marauder. Look at this place. Why would anyone choose the wilds below over this? My family has done much for this city, so we are given our own private station in these quarters. They serve well enough, but I cannot say they compare to the home we had before we came to these blasted lands. They are the lowest. Colossi without faith, mindless, violent, and forever despairing. My brother? I would hardly consider Histis family anymore. He left that behind when he turned his back on civilization, like one of those marauders. What business has he sent you on, Beckoned? I suppose I have been rather hard on Histis. If he feels this is his calling, then I should support him as family. The ring is in my chest over there. Here is the key to open it. Yes, farewell.
Blessings to you.
Incredible. You must be the Beckoned. What are you doing here? I am a frequent patron of the theater, but I grow tired of Stratton's work. When will Irina produce something? It knew better days, I think. The current master, Stratton, can keep the people entertained, but not musing. I've seen the bulk of his works. They are often pretentious and bloody. I enjoyed Andronikos' satires myself. It is a place of respite, or a monument to the god of boredom. Count the columns, or the straws in the bed if you need something to do. Or, better yet, get out of here. May your journey end well.
I expected the... Greetings, beckoned. Have you come to pass the time? If we wait long enough, Stratton might even have another play ready when we're done. Like Stratton and Andronikos before him, I am a writer, but I tend towards essays and dissertations rather than metaphor and prose to deliver my messages. I was a close friend of Andronikos. I have reviewed every production displayed in his theater for those not in attendance. In the years since, I have been told that I've been unkind to Stratton, but I beg to differ. I am honest. I have mixed feelings for our dear playwright. He was once the tragedian prodigy of Andronikos himself. Many looked to him to fill the master's shoes when Andronikos died. Most believe Stratton has succeeded. I am unconvinced. I plan to attend, as I do with all the productions held in the city, though my hopes for it are not high. A mighty playwright, Andronikos knew that the gods would be pleased should our art reflect their majesty. Much like Idylla itself, the theater was constructed as much for its utility as it was as a tribute to Athene. I'll not take up any more of your time.
So you have completed the tasks, but I do not see Corina. Then her choice is made. Well, there is no more putting this off. I must take my leave. Well, the Jotun go with bare feet, so I will as well. Take my sandals, beckoned. They may be of some use to you. Perhaps you are right. The Jotun are not exactly the most reasonable of creatures when it comes to outsiders. I suppose I could wait and observe them a bit longer before I make an attempt to live with them. Thank you for your help, beckoned. You truly speak with the wisdom of Athene. Stay safe.
How may I serve? You have slain Kern. I now have the peace of mind to know that my wife's murderer is no longer around to torment her grave. I cannot thank you enough. I have little of my own, but take these. The gauntlets I wore when I first started carving stone. May they serve you. I miss her every day. But there is some small comfort in knowing that her death has been avenged. On your way now.